So I've been making a small army of 81 ceramic spoon rests, and the part of the process I always dread the most with these is glazing them, which is what I'm doing today. So buckle in. Step number 1, when these come out of the kiln from the bisque firing, they're always really dirty from all the dust and kiln stuff that gets on them, so I have to start by washing each one of them individually before glazing them. Then we're on to step number 2, which is to apply liquid wax anywhere on the pot where I don't want glaze to stick, which for these means the entire bottom of the pot, the exterior walls, and the rim, because I like to feature lots of raw clay as part of the design of these spoon rests. And then finally, after all of that preparation, I can start working with the actual glaze itself. Glaze is basically lots of chemicals suspended in water, so you have to mix it up before using it. Then using a pair of tongs, I clamp it onto the spoon rest, dip it quickly into the bucket to apply a layer of glaze. Then I left those out to dry, which actually wound up being a bit of a mistake. Since I was working on so many of these and it was taking quite a while, the glaze ended up drying onto the wax, which was kind of a nightmare to clean off. Like, it came off eventually, but this was a big waste of time. So then I realized a much easier way to do this would be to dip the pot into the bucket and then immediately before setting it down, use a sponge to clean off that excess glaze. And since it is still really wet at this point, it is much easier to remove. I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, because looking back it seems kind of obvious. I also did attempt another riskier way of glazing these, where I just waxed the rim of the pot and then tried to pour the glaze into the interior of the spoon rest while pouring it out to avoid getting any of the glaze on the outside. This is a method I use a lot of the time for simple symmetrical shapes like cups or bowls, because it is faster if I can do it correctly. But since the spoon rests have that weird oblong spout on them, I found this method to be kind of impossible, so I went back to the old way. Then once everything was glazed, they went into the kiln for their glaze firing. I wound up doing these in 5 different colors, so I have this one, which is called raspberry red. This one is kind of like an oceanic blue. Of course, I did plain white. I also did this dark green and this toasty little nutmeg color. Whenever these come out of the kiln, the bottom tends to be pretty rough, so I dip it in some water and then I do a wet sanding just to make sure it doesn't scratch anybody's counters. I'll probably hold on to these to sell for the holidays, which feels so far away, but in pottery time, it is so close. And then my spoon rest will conquer all of your dirty spoons.